Hello and welcome to this week's Potentialization. So this week we're very pleased to have Peter Gilmour, who is going to be talking to us about how to get confidence, energy and success in life, which is absolutely fantastic, especially if, with everything that's been happening, with all the uncertainty, with everything from coronavirus and in the economy, etc., having these kinds of things built out for like mental resilience and all sorts of stuff is everybody could do with that kind of thing. So it's going to be great to chat to Peter. So welcome, Peter.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
Wonderful.
If I can just add to that, it's confidence, energy, success, and you can add into that happiness too, because
Fabulous.
Aristotle said the entire meaning and purpose of life is to be happy, and I tend to agree with him about that. It's kind of the ultimate emotion.
Yeah, absolutely. So wonderful. So could you start by just telling us a bit about yourself, a bit about your past and the things that you do, please?
Yeah, sure. How long have you got? Well, okay. We'll stick to the point. Well, I won't talk about all the other things I've done in my life. I'll stick to this particular incarnation that we're involved in here. So I tend to call myself a mind coach, and I help people of all different kinds to achieve things they want to achieve in life. In some cases it's high achieving people, in some cases it's people who haven't really achieved anything in their life and don't expect to, but they need some help. You talked about the pandemic and the lockdown and all of that, and there is no question that mental health has suffered a great deal through that period. And of course the only way really to stay strong and get through it is to remain cheerful and positive, and that's the best way to get through it. And of course all of the techniques that I do and the kind of techniques I use are hypnosis, NLP, breath work, EMDR, which is eye movement therapy, and a whole bunch of others, including stuff that I've invented myself as I've gone along. I've been doing this for 23 years, so
Oh, fantastic.
I kind of think I'm probably getting quite good at it now,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So that's cool. So fascinating. So could you just explain just a little bit more about hypnosis, if that's all right? Yeah. I do try and meditate, and I think even just a bit about what meditation is, but my understanding of hypnosis would be almost like a bit of a deeper subconscious version of meditation, but I don't know if that's right or not. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Sure. Well, of course, hypnosis and meditation are quite similar. The thing is, if you close your eyes and you go inside, whether it's hypnosis, meditation, prayer, daydreaming, there's only one place to go to. And with meditation, it's a kind of open-ended thing where, you're not quite sure where you're trying to go, and you just let your mind go free, and you find out, maybe you arrive somewhere interesting places, and you learn a bit about yourself. With hypnosis, it's more focused on particular things. So self-hypnosis, which I recommend to everybody, whether you've got issues or whether you haven't. Although if I'm in a room and I say to people, okay, hands up everyone who's got an issue, and people don't put their hands up, I would say, right, you're a bunch of liars, because everybody's got an issue, of one kind or another. And there are two different kinds of hypnosis in that way. There's what we call hetero-hypnosis, which is where somebody doing the hypnosis with somebody else, with a hypnotee, and the self-hypnosis where you do it yourself. And can you hypnotize yourself? Yes, you can. It's a very, very simple thing. In fact, if you don't mind me mentioning, I don't think I've got a copy of it here, but anyway, I've written a book, Magical Mental Methods, where I explain how to do self-hypnosis. And in fact, if you look on the internet, it's quite easy to find out how you do it. It's perfectly safe, and as I said before, I recommend it to everybody, whether you've got issues or not. But if you have got issues, it's a very good way to deal with them, because it's much more direct than with meditation. You know, a lot of people tell me that they struggle with meditation. You know, they close their eyes and they start thinking, I don't know, about what they're going to have for dinner or something like that. And they can't really, they find it very hard to get into it. And it's certainly true that if somebody is in a heightened emotional state, some kind of agitated emotional state, maybe they're stressed, maybe they're anxious. If you say, okay, close your eyes and meditate, it ain't going to happen, you know. Whereas with hypnosis, there is a kind of structure to get what it is a state of deep relaxation. And there's a structure that will help you to get there, to relax, so that you can then bypass the conscious mind, which is the critical, the critical faculty in the brain, and communicate directly with the subconscious mind, which is where your behavior patterns are created. That's the whole point about it. You have two brains, I'm sure you know. You have the subconscious mind and the conscious mind, and we want to bypass the conscious mind, which is the kind of prosaic, doubting side of the mind. It's the silent side of the mind that says, I can't do this, it'll never work, stuff like that. You need to get in touch with your subconscious mind, where you can replace negative ideas and feelings and emotions with positive suggestions. It's a very simple process, very simple thing to do.
Oh, fascinating, fascinating. So I guess maybe the first steps in it is to sort of put yourself in that, I don't want to say state, but, you know, that deep relaxation, to then sort of reprogram your subconscious mind, basically, because I guess in everyday life it's kind of harder to connect with the subconscious mind, which is perhaps why you need the hypnosis, to just take that time out and reprogram it, to overcome any negative thoughts and beliefs that may have come from perhaps a long time ago.
Yeah, very. I mean, the issues people have usually, if they have trauma, stress, anxiety, it's often because of things like you say that have happened earlier in their lives. And so if somebody's got, I don't know, a fear of water, they turn up in my consulting room, they have a fear of water. Very often it might be because at the age of 2 they fell in a swimming pool and panicked, and somebody got them out and everything was okay, but nevertheless that memory is still in their subconscious mind, and it's going to remain there until it's replaced with something else, because the subconscious mind remembers everything. It's like a DVD recording of everything that's ever happened in your life. Every sight, sound, sensation, feeling, emotion, experience, taste, smell, everything is in there. If you hear a song from when you were 15, then you're transported back to that time, and you can almost feel that time and the atmosphere of that time, can't you? And that's because the subconscious mind remembers all these things, and some of those things are painful. So what we need to do is to replace the painful things with positive, joyful things, and then count you up and you feel fine. Right.
Fascinating, fascinating. Brilliant. So yeah, that sounds really good. And then you mentioned something else as well, NLP, which neuro-linguistic programming, I believe. And
right, yes.
Again, I've got a little bit of an understanding. It's to do with like images, and it's what you focus on perhaps, and it's like if there's something good, you bring a big image towards you and you connect with the sounds and what resonates with you. And different people have kind of got different associative things. Some people are visual, some people are hearing, some people are other senses, this kind of thing. But I'd really love to hear your thoughts on it, and what works with NLP in your practice.
On NLP, well, I always describe NLP as a kind of mental engineering. I actually learned it from the bloke who invented it, or one of the blokes who invented it, a guy called Richard Bandler. You may have
heard of him. Yeah,
Richard Bandler and John Grinder were the inventors of NLP, and they're both fantastic guys. I mean, Richard Bandler is a complete genius. he's not an incredibly nice bloke. I mean, and anybody who knows him, I think, will know what I mean when I say that. But he is definitely the leader in the field. He's often referred to as the best hypnotist in the world. But NLP, it's basically a series of very simple exercises, which the kind of thing you're talking about, you know, pushing things away from him. Imagine pushing, you know, the bad memory away from you, so you know, less affected by it, is the kind of thing we're talking about. But it's only one of the techniques that are used. Anchoring is something called anchoring. I mean, look, at some stage during this, however long we've got, 50 minutes, I can show you some of these things if you like. I can demonstrate some of these methods. I can demonstrate an NLP technique for you, which maybe will make it clearer. And my suggestion would be maybe to demonstrate one or two of these things, maybe a breathing exercise. And incidentally, I talk about breathing exercises and people tend to turn off because it doesn't sound as maybe as interesting as NLP or hypnosis or any of these other fancy techniques. But I will tell you right now that breath work is absolutely vital for mental well-being. And I've studied breath work very deeply. And I can only advise people to have a look around and use it, or get in touch with me, and I can, you know, so I can show you a very simple breathing technique during the course of this thing, if you like. But if you have a look around on the internet, there's lots of people who demonstrate breathing techniques, and there is no question that they're incredibly important. There's a technique called 6-6 breathing. Some people call the rhythm of life, breathing into the count of 6, breathing out to the count of 6. Okay, so and you can get 5 of those in a minute. If you do that, and it's best to, I'm going to tell you something about this. It's going to blow your mind in a minute. You need to get one of these. It's a clicker ticker. Okay.
All right.
A little metronomic thing. This is not the only type. There are millions of them available on the internet. They cost about a tenner or something, and you can set them up to a click at that rate. And if you do that exercise for 20 minutes a day, it improves everything we can measure about the human body. That's what I was going to tell you. Everything we can measure about the human body, it improves. That's how important breathing techniques are. There's another very famous breathing technique, 4-4-4-4. It's called box breathing. Breathing into the count of 4, holding it to the count of 4, breathing out to the count of 4, holding to the count of 4. And if you do that about 6 times, it's used by the U.S. Navy SEALs. You know who they are. They're not woolly-hatted pacifist vegetarian sort of people like me. These are tough guys, and they only use things at work, and they use that's called box breathing to remain calm and focused in very difficult situations. And I use it with people, particularly athletes. I'm quite well known for my work in sport, and it's one of the methods I teach to athletes, and they find it incredibly useful. These are techniques, incidentally, that take about a minute or 2 minutes to do.
Let's give it a try. Are you okay to show us some of these? That would be absolutely.
Yeah, well, of course I can. Yeah, I mean, really, that's what I'm here for. That's why I wrote my book. Here we go.
Oh, cool.
There's about 23 different exercises in there, plus a lot of down-home philosophy, which I think is worth reading about, you know.
I'm sorry.
No, go on.
Well, I was just as you were saying that. I mean, people go, oh, you know, you think a lot about food that we eat and what we drink. But then, then as you were talking about breathing, I was thinking, I mean, that's got to be so true, because you can go without food, for example, for quite a long time. You can go without water for quite a long time.
Without food for 3 weeks, water for 3 days, breathing for 3 minutes.
Exactly.
Mm.
And I just thought, but you never focus on breathing at all, really. But I mean, you know, it's like, so I was just thinking, actually, that is the lifeblood of, well, mixing with your blood and sending the oxygen around and all that sort of stuff. So absolutely.
Absolutely, yes. There's no. That's why I'm saying it. I'm trying to sort of take the message out there and tell people that these things will improve your life, even if you pick up 1 or 2 of the things that I'm telling you about now. You will improve your life. When I work with people, I give them maybe 3 or 4 different exercises, you know, like the ones in the book, and I say, look, do them in the morning, you know, because then you know you've done them. I guarantee you'll have a better day. And they all have a different purpose and reason. I mean, breathing exercise, you're absolutely right. It's about you know, the exchange, getting the amounts of oxygen and particularly CO2 in the blood, and it makes a massive difference. And another incredibly important part of that, and I want you all to listen very carefully to the next sentence I'm going to say, and that is nose breathing. You must breathe through your nose and not through your mouth. And people who've looked into this, and they train people, and I train people, particularly athletes, to do this, is at night. The way to train yourself to do this is to tape up your mouth at night so that you breathe through your nose and not through your mouth. And when I say tape up, I don't mean put a piece of tape across your mouth like that, but just a little bit of tape, like a kind of Hitler moustache type thing, just down there. And what that helps to do is to open up the nostrils and allows you to it trains you to breathe through your nose.
What's the difference? I'll have to ask.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
The difference is that the levels of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the blood change. First of all, it's I think we all know that when you take in oxygen through your nose, you have little hairs in the nose that clean it. You have to remember that all of us are breathing in. Okay, you're bringing me onto a subject here. Again, it's very important. Toxins. It's the subject of toxins. All of us are ingesting toxins. And I'm not just talking about the exhaust from cars and other vehicles. Just about everything in our environment gives off toxins. Paints, varnishes, furnishing fabrics, clothes, they're all made with chemicals that give off toxins that we're ingesting. Even food, even the water we drink, which around this country comes along lead pipes and gathers impurities as it comes in. You know, in the summer, if we ever get a summer, you get a beam of light that comes through the window, and quite often you can see little bits of things floating about in the beam of light. These are the toxins that I'm talking about. And particulates, of course, which are particulates come with the emissions of diesel engines, which are incredibly harmful for us. They've found particulates, little tiny plastic particles, in babies when they're born. And a lot of the exercises, and I'll show you an exercise in a minute if you like, a tapping exercise too, because what happens is we ingest these toxins and it interferes with the energy systems of the body. And a lot of the reason for doing the kind of exercises I'm talking about, which I'm going to show you in just a minute, is to get the energy systems flowing, because that's when we feel at our best. When our energy systems get clogged up, and they get clogged up either from toxins or from negative states of mind, fear, doubt, worry, stress, anxiety, depression, the energy systems slow down. It feels like our batteries are in backwards. We feel sluggish. We feel we have no energy. You know, it's part and parcel of every day. And people kind of seem to accept it. And what I say is don't accept it, you know. Do some of these things that I'm suggesting to you now, and you will feel better. You will have more energy. you will get more success, you will feel happier. And some of these exercises take a minute or two. So why wouldn't you do them? If I teach them to you now, supposing I teach you a few exercises now, why wouldn't you do them? Because you've got them for the rest of your life. And okay, some people find it hard to take in the kind of thing that I'm saying, but I've been messing around with this. Well, I've been more than messing around with it. I've been working very deeply with some interesting people, shall we say, and we discovered that you can feel better, function better, be happier, and improve everything in your life by doing these things. That is the mantra. That's why I wrote this particular book. That's the purpose of my life, to make the world a happier place. And that's what I'm saying to you. If you do these things, that's what will happen to you.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I think the morning's a brilliant time to do it, because I've also heard as well that, like, the first hour after you wake up is when it's the best time to program your mind and set your day. An investment in that time helps transform how the rest of the day can be. And plus, like you say, it gets it sort of almost done in, you know, then you can just crack on and it really just elevates everything else that comes after it. So brilliant. Well, can we try some?
Yes, of course we can. Yes, let's do that. So, all right, I'll first of all, I'm going to teach you a very, very simple breathing exercise. I told you about the box breathing, 4-4-4-4. You can look it up, and I recommend it very highly. Go online and find it. What I'll teach you is a very simple breathing exercise of my own, which I have taught to thousands of people, many of whom have gone out of their way to thank me for this exercise. And I promise you, if you use it, work with it, it will help you an awful lot, particularly if you have a challenge coming up in your life, an interview for a job, a sporting challenge, a romantic date, anything, a challenge you need to, if you need something to center yourself and be focused on what you're doing.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Okay. And I call it 3-2-1 breathing. It's dead simple. I'll tell you what it is, then we can all do it together, okay? Yeah. In a minute, I'll get you to take a nice big deep breath. When I say deep breath, I mean down into the diaphragm here, and okay? And hold it. While you're holding your breath, I want you to say to yourself, 3-2-1, relax. And then as you breathe out slowly, I want you to imagine, see, feel all negative feelings and emotions, everything you don't want, flowing away from you, flowing out and away from you, okay? And that's it. That's the exercise. You can't have anything simple. I say I teach it to people. It's not like you need a PhD or something to learn it. It's about the simplest thing you could ever have. But I promise you that the effects of it, if you use it regularly, are terrific. There's something I invented, I don't know, probably 20 years ago, and there are hundreds of breathing exercises, hundreds of them. This one is very good and people like it. Okay, so if I can get you to sit up straight, feet flat on the floor, hands on your knees. Yeah. And take a nice big deep breath and hold it in and say to yourself, 3-2-1, relax. And as you breathe out slowly, feel all negative feelings and emotions flowing away from you, breathing it out, flowing away, everything negative flowing out and away. That's it, leaving you feeling strong, confident, powerful. Excellent. Let's try that one more time. Take a nice big deep breath and hold it in. Say to yourself, 3-2-1, relax. And as you breathe out slowly, feel all that negative stuff, negative energy flowing out and away, out and away. That's it. That's right. Leaving you feeling strong, confident, powerful. Excellent. That's it. It's as simple as that. How do you feel? A little bit?
Much more relaxed. Much more relaxed.
Perfect. That is the correct answer.
And do you know what's really nice about that is it is dead simple.
Mm.
It's how, like you mentioned 20 minutes earlier for the clicker thing. If you,
Oh, that's the 6-6 breathing. Mm.
Right. If you were doing the 3-2-1 in the morning, what would you recommend for that? Is that like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes?
No. I would say just like we just did, a couple of just what we just did just then. If you feel like you want to do it a bit more, then you can.
Right.
With all of these things that I'm going to show you, if people want to modify them a bit, like the next one I'm going to show you, you can modify it a bit. I'll show you how. And there's nothing to stop anybody changing any of these exercises a bit to suit themselves a little bit better. There are no particular rules about it.
Can I ask you a question that I noticed when I was doing it? Is if you're lying, well, what I noticed was when I was breathing in, my body was going up.
Yeah.
And then, but when I'm lying down, that doesn't happen. Kind of my chest goes out or whatever. And is there a better way of doing it? Should you not go up because I guess the top part of the lungs is small? Or does it not matter, or do you want to fill it up deeply? Or
yeah. The point about breathing is all of us breathe in a very shallow way. You know, we breathe into the top part of our lungs, and what it means is that stale air and gas collects in the bottom part of our lungs. And the point about doing this exercise and doing it's abdominal breathing. If anybody's done yoga, they'll know about abdominal breathing, where you breathe down into the abdomen, where it's sometimes called diaphragmatic breathing.
Right.
In the USA, they call it belly breathing. And by doing that, what you're doing is you're by breathing into the bottom part of the lungs, you're getting rid of that stale air and gas that collects there, because we breathe in such a shallow sort of way normally. But I wouldn't get too hung up about about what you just asked me, because normally when I do it with people, it's either in a group with people who are sitting in chairs, just normal chairs, rather than lying down. So and I found it's very effective.
Wonderful, wonderful. Could we try another one? You mentioned another breathing technique.
Yeah, but what I want to do is, like I say, look up box breathing.
Yeah.
You'll find it online. If there's quite a few things during the course of the time we have that I'd really like to show you all.
Wonderful.
And if we dwell too much on one thing, then we're not going to get round to it. Plus, also, if it's okay, we can do a bit of hypnosis too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So, but the next thing I want to show you is a tapping exercise. Now, I don't know if you guys know about tapping, what it is, where it comes from. I know John does. But tapping is tapping on the body, and it changes your mental state. When I first heard that, I thought, what a load of old tosh, And then I went to study it, and I found out it's totally magical. Tapping was discovered, it's all about the meridian energy system, okay? The meridian energy, it's the same system that acupuncturists use. So the points we tap on are acupuncture points. The meridian energy system was discovered by Chinese doctors thousands of years ago, and they managed to map it out, and where it comes close to the surface of the skin are the points that we tap on. In America, there was a guy called Roger Callahan, Dr. Roger Callahan, who's no longer with us, unfortunately. He was a great man who developed he was the pioneer of tapping in America. It's much better known and more widely used in America than it is here. Roger Callahan developed something called TFT, thought field therapy, which was the original modality, tapping modality. He wrote a book called, I recommend it very highly, Tapping the Healer Within.
Right.
Okay, that was the first book about tapping. And then another guy called Gary Craig came along, developed it slightly differently, and he called it emotional freedom technique, EFT, which is probably the most popular form of it today. So we're tapping on certain parts of the body, and we're doing a few other things. I'm going to show you now. I'm going to show you, this is an exercise I invented myself, tapping exercise I invented myself. I call it happy tapping. So what I want you to do is, first of all, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask everybody a question, okay? You don't have to intellectualize about this. The answer is the first thing that comes into your head. There's no right or wrong answers, okay? And the question is, what do you want in life? What do you want in life? One word.
I'm going to say quality relationships. Is
that right, okay. I said don't intellectualize.
Oh, never mind. I always think with life, it is about the quality of relationships and stuff. So that to me is
what will quality relationships bring to you? What would that give you?
Happiness.
Okay, that's the word I'm looking for. I gave you a clue before when I told you about Aristotle.
Yeah.
So, happiness is the entire meaning and purpose of life. So a lot of people say they want to be rich, they want to be famous, they, I don't know, want to be on television, stuff like that. But why do they want those things? Because they think it'll make them happy. Mm-hmm. You know, so happiness is what I'm looking for, although you can change this, and I'll show you how. But first of all, we'll go through the exercise, okay? Again, it's a dead simple exercise, and the purpose of it, by the way, is to stimulate your body's energy systems, to get the energy flowing, because that's when you feel at your best. That's when you're at your best, when your energy systems are flowing. What I want you to do is to tap like this, so you have the part of the hand that you might do a karate chop with, and I want you to tap like that. Give it, that's it, give it a nice thump. In all the tapping modalities, the terminology is the same. So this is the karate point, unsurprisingly, that we're tapping on now. And while you're tapping on there, I want you to repeat after me. Now, I can only hear you, I can't hear the other guys, so I'll have to just imagine that they're actually saying what I'm asking them to say, okay? Repeat after me. I want to be happy.
I want to be happy.
I can be happy.
I can be happy.
I will be happy.
I will be happy.
I am happy.
I am happy.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
All right, stop doing that, and I want you to tap here on the top lip underneath your nose.
Just there?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Now, I know some of this tapping stuff seems daft when you haven't done it before, but there's a reason for all of it. And now tap in the crease underneath your bottom lip. Yeah, that's it. These 2 points are central vessels in the meridian energy system. It goes up over there and it comes down here. Okay, and now I want you to tap on the other hand, the other karate point.
Yeah.
Okay. And repeat after me. I want to be even happier.
I want to be even happier.
I want to be happy for no reason.
I want to be happy for no reason.
I can be even happier.
I can be even happier.
I will be even happier.
I will be even happier.
I am even happier.
I am even happier.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
I'm more than okay.
I'm more than okay.
Good. And stop. Good. That's the exercise. How are you feeling?
Happy.
Can you feel a bit of tingling? Can you feel a bit of tingling? Okay, that tingling you can feel is your chi energy, the core energy system in the body. That's what you're feeling. It's a signal that your energy is now flowing. Now, when your energy flows better, it's a way to resist the effect of the toxins that we're ingesting the whole time. You can't help it, whether you live, I live in London, so the toxins all over the place, but even in the country, I don't know where you all live, but wherever you live, we're completely beset by toxins, and just the manufacturing process of more or less everything we use. So so you've got 2 exercises now. You've got the breathing exercise, you've got the happy tapping exercise. Oh, and I said I wanted to explain to you how you can change it. If you like, when you're doing that exercise, supposing you weren't feeling very well, so you could change it to, I want to be healthy. I can be healthy, etc. Instead of using the word happy, you can use something else. You know, you could use the word successful. I want to be successful. I can be successful. I will be successful, etc. So you can change it in ways that you feel will help you. I'm.
Sorry, because it's always an emotion then. So it's an emotional thing.
Absolutely.
To, like, you know, you want a new job or whatever. It's an emotional state thing, right? Yeah.
Yes, it is. It definitely is an emotional thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So what I'll teach you now is the classic tapping exercise. It's called the 9 gamut process. If you have a look on YouTube, you'll see lots of people demonstrating this technique. Okay, it's common to all the tapping modalities. They're all slightly different, but they all have this in it. Okay, the first thing is, this is where we get to issues. Okay, so what I'm going to say to you is, you don't have to. I'm going to ask you if you've got any issues. Hands up, anyone who's got an issue. You don't have to tell me what it is. Anyone got an issue? An issue of any kind at all? Right, everybody's hands up. That's what I expect, because everybody's got an issue. So what I want you to do is to just focus on that issue, and I want you to measure the intensity of it to you, the way you feel about it, on a level of 0 to 10. 0, of course, meaning nothing, which it's not likely to be, up to 10, which is a lot. So I want you to measure the intensity of it. You know, you can take any issue that you have in your life. You can take the most important one, or any issue at all. Don't even have to tell me what it is. Okay, everybody got an issue. Everybody measured it. Okay. What's your what's just to give me a clue, rather than me speaking to everybody, what's the level of yours? Do you mind telling me?
Well, I'd originally put it on 8, then I put it on 9. Now I've pushed it to 10.
Okay, so it's talking to me, is put it up.
So, because as I was thinking about it more, oh God, yeah. So I'd say a fair score is 9.
Okay, so that's really quite a serious issue for you then, whatever it is. Yeah, okay. All right, so there are 2 parts to this technique. The first part is we start here, we tap here on what we call the collarbone point. Now, the way you find this point is that you have a V-shaped thingy here, right? The bone here, okay, there's a V shape there, you know, this bone here.
Yeah.
And so you come down a couple of centimeters, and then either to the left or the right is what we call are the 2 collarbone points. Okay, we call them collarbone points. I mean, people say, oh, it's not the collarbone's up here, but in fact, it is part of the collarbone. And in tapping, these are referred to as the collarbone points. Okay, so we tap on here, like that. That's it. And now we tap just underneath the eye using a couple of fingers. Just underneath the eye, can you see? That's it. Good. Like I say, if you haven't done tapping before, I know it seems totally ridiculous, but I hardly do a session without tapping in it these days, and I tell you, it's not ridiculous at all. Okay, tap here again. And now tap about 4 inches down from the armpit, about there. You kind of get a feel for these, for where the right place is. You kind of instinctively know. And here again. And now what we call the 3rd eye spot right there. That's it. And now side of the eye here. That's it. And here. Okay, that's the first part of the 9 gamut process. So that 9 that you had before, what figure have you got in your head now? First figure that comes into your mind.
First figure I'm thinking is 7.
Right, there you go. On the way down. Okay, now then, the reason this is called the 9 gamut process is because there's a point here, okay, which is, so you've got the little finger, the ring finger, and then just the other side of the knuckle is a kind of a sort of indent there, a kind of groove in there. Okay, I can see you're thinking deeply about something.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm sorry. Just think, yeah, sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. So watch me now. Look, this groove here, right? Just the other side of the, in between little and ring finger, the other side of the knuckle, there's a point there. Take a couple of fingers, find that point, and tap on it. Keep tapping. Let me have a look. Make sure you got the right point. That's it. Okay, everybody. Yeah. Okay. Tap on that point and follow my instructions. Now this is where it gets a little bit silly. Okay. Close your eyes. Open your eyes. Keep your head still, but look down to one side. Keep your head still, look down to the other side. Roll your eyes around one way. Roll them around the other way. That's it. Now I want you to do a funny thing. I want you to hum a few seconds of Happy Birthday. Okay, count out loud from 1 up to 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And Happy Birthday again. Okay, stop and tap here. All right. Where's that? What figure you got now in your head? First figure comes into your mind.
I'm thinking 7. I think it's the first.
Okay. All right. Okay. Tap there and tap underneath the eye there. That's it. And tap here. And now 4 inches down from the armpit. And now here. And now the third eye spot. You're getting pretty chilled out, aren't you?
Yeah, I am now. It's better now.
And now side of the eye. There, that's it.
Just here.
Yeah, just right at the side of the eye there, the kind of corner of the eye. That's it. And here. That's it. And now tap on the other side, the other gamut spot, what we call it's called the gamut spot because we use it for a lot of things. If you tap on it continuously, it takes away pain, or if you've got hiccups, it'll take away your hiccups if you tap on that spot.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's a really good spot. It's also just tapping it will kind of center you anyway. Okay, so close your eyes, open your eyes, keep your head still, look down to one side. Look down to the other side. Roll your eyes around one way. Roll them around the other way. Hum Happy Birthday. Count out loud from 1 up to 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Happy Birthday. Okay, stop. Tap here. What number are we on now?
5.
5. Okay, excellent. How about everybody else? Has everybody else got a number coming down? How about Grace? How are you doing? Yeah, good, excellent. So as you can you see how doing that is changing your mental state?
Yeah, I found definitely the sort of second repetitions, and the first time round it was a bit bizarre, shall we say, or a bit like when you oh, now here, now there, but then getting more familiar with it, I felt more open and receptive to what it was doing, and it was, do you know what I mean? It was like, yeah.
I do, yeah. I know it's all a bit strange when you start, but I can see your whole physiology has changed, and you become much more quite relaxed to start with. You're much more relaxed now.
Yeah, so, totally.
I mean, we're just scratching the surface here. There's other things I can show you here. There's a technique called collarbone breathing, which is I had a friend who came to visit us from America who I belong to a club in the centre of London, and we met her there for lunch, and she told us she had a problem sleeping. And this is she's in her 80s, this lady, fantastic lady, and a very, very active involved person in many ways, and said she'd been having incredible problems sleeping, didn't know what to do about it. And so we're sitting in this club in the center of London, and I showed her this thing called collarbone breathing. You'll find it if you look online, you'll find people demonstrating. And within about 2 minutes, she fell asleep in the club. While she was doing it, she just fell asleep. And it's just another example of how potent these techniques can be, even when you use them for a few minutes. Like with the thing, we were just doing the 9 gamut process. I mean, Phil, is it, or Paul? It's Phil. Yeah. I mean, that's quite, if somebody says they have something which is on a level of 9 or sometimes even 10, you said, that's quite a serious issue for you, whatever it is. And the fact that, I mean, obviously, if we would have carried on doing the 9 gamut and a few more rounds of it, it would have disappeared completely.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else you might have tried to get rid of it, or if you would have gone to, say, I don't know, a psychologist or somebody, you probably would be in treatment for years, you know, twice a week for years, and it still probably wouldn't have gone. You may have felt a bit more comfortable about it. But with these things, you treat people. I treated somebody, less than a week ago, who, when he was 4 years old, a nurse who was living in the house looking at, a child nurse who was living in the house, this was in Colombia where he lived then, came into his bedroom and tried to throttle him with a pillow. She put the pillow over his head and tried to throttle him. And luckily his father heard a bit at the rumpus and came in, it was in the middle of the night, came in and pulled the child nurse off him and took her to the police. But since that day, and this guy is, I would say he's in his early 30s, it's bothered him ever since. He told me about, he wasn't really a client of mine, he's just somebody I met, somebody who lives locally here. And he told me about it. So I said, listen, I think I can help you with that. So I went through a few techniques with him. I did something called the fast phobia cure, which if you have a look online, again, it's one of Richard Bandler's things. And to cut a long story short, within half an hour, this thing that had bothered him all his life had gone. He did not feel the trauma and the agitation that he'd felt all his life after half an hour of doing exercises like this, and in particular the fast phobia cure, which is a thing of total and complete brilliance, you know. And the fast phobia, because sometimes called the rewind process, is partly responsible for that, and the hypnosis that we did.
Often you go to a therapist and they do one thing.
Yeah, that's right.
It's the cure for everything. But you've got a whole bag of tools of different. So I'm curious how you know what to use.
It's really by instinct, you know. It depends what people come with and what kind of people they are. So I never really know. But what I can tell you is that nearly all of my sessions have some hypnosis, some tapping, some breath work. They will definitely have those ingredients, and probably some EMDR, although I'm finding it a bit tricky to do it online. But actually, there's different ways of doing EMDR. You don't know what I'm talking about, really. But EMDR is when you move your finger from side to side, and the client, it keeps their head still, and with their eyes, they're watching the movement of your finger, because what we've found is that lateral eye movement makes a massive difference to your state of mind, although I haven't found anybody yet who can tell me why that is. But there are different ways of doing it. It's something to do with cross-hemispheric balance. You have the two hemispheres of the brain, and they each have their own energy system. And by combining the energy, the both sides of the energy systems, it seems to have a big effect. So for instance, when you pray, you go like this, don't you? I don't do any praying, I have to tell you, but when people pray, they go to church and they go like this, and that's pretty universal. And by combining the left and right energy systems, it puts people into a meditative type of state. And that's partly the reason for it. When you sit down, you want to relax, you cross your legs. That's another example of how you combine the energies, cross-hemispheric balance, it's called. And that's partly why EMDR works, but there's different ways of doing it. You can do it with sound or by tapping on shoulders rather than, anyway, I'm getting a bit technical here now. But if you would like to do 5 or 10 minutes of hypnosis, I'm very happy to do it. And if you have more questions, then let's get together again. I'm quite happy to do that.
Wonderful. Should we finish with a bit of hypnosis and close on that? And that would be absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much for chilled already after the tapping that I wasn't expecting anything out of, but I actually found really effective.
Yeah. Okay. Well, interesting you say that. Interesting you say that, because yeah, I know it does seem completely ridiculous, and I felt the same way as you. Didn't think it would work, and then I found out it's bloody brilliant. Anyway, hypnosis, some people are a little bit apprehensive about it. There's really no need to be. It's a state of deep relaxation. It's the most wonderful therapy. I'll tell you what, if you said to me I could only have one therapy, I would choose hypnosis. Although all of the other things I do, you know, they all work on different parts of the brain, so they make the hypnosis stronger. But hypnosis, everybody is hypnotizable. It can't do any harm. The effects it only has positive and good effects. Okay, so if everybody's cool with that, we can begin. So I just need you to really relax. And the first thing I want you to do is take a nice big deep breath and hold it in. And breathe out and relax, and take another nice big deep breath and hold it in and breathe out and relax, and listen carefully to the sound of my voice. I'm going to count down now from 3 down to 1. On the count of 1, I'd like you to close your eyes, relax, and allow yourself to drift away. 3, 2, and 1. Eyes closed now. Relax. And allow yourself to drift away. That's it. All the way down now. All the way down. There's no need to make anything happen. You don't have to make anything happen. Just let whatever happens happen. And you'll have a great time. That's it. Allow your mind to clear. Allow yourself to relax. Clear your mind of all thoughts. Allow my voice to get inside your mind. And as I talk to your subconscious mind, allow yourself to relax more, because the more relaxed you become, the better you feel. And the better you feel, the deeper you relax. And the deeper you go, the deeper you want to go. That's it. All the way down now. And now, as you relax, I'd like you to pay attention to your breathing. That's it. And if you find yourself distracted by anything around you, maybe a noise outside, or maybe even the frustrations of the day, you can return your attention to this experience by simply paying attention to your breath. That's it. Just breathe gently. There's no need to speed up or slow down your breath. Just let yourself pay attention to the breath without bothering whether it should be quicker or slower. And by focusing on your breath, you can easily focus your attention inside and let go of any stress or tension of the day. Allow yourself to easily enter that amazing state of learning and intuition that we call hypnosis. And as I count backwards from 5 down to 1, I'd like you to deepen your hypnotic state. 5, 4, 3. Let yourself relax completely. That's it. Never sleep, but deeply relax. 2, 1, 0. That's it. Over the next couple of minutes, I'm going to guide you through a process of dissociating here from there. This is called the nowhere technique. As you relax, you can recognize that part of you is here. You can feel the surface underneath you. Your eyes are closed and your mind is relaxed. And you can also see that another part of you is drifting away. That's it. Drifting to a place that's really nowhere. In fact, drifting to a place we call the middle of nowhere. You can let your mind drift now and meet me in this place. A place that has no time, in the middle of nowhere. It's a place that has no place, in the middle of nowhere. It's a place that has my voice and your awareness, in the middle of nowhere. It's a place that's neither here nor there. It's just a place of your own creation. In the middle of nowhere, there's no awareness of stress, anxiety, fear, discomfort, or pain. No awareness of doubt or emotional distress, but simply an awareness of nothingness. That's it. Here in the middle of nowhere, nothing is just fine. There's nothing to be and nothing to feel. There are no feelings to feel in the middle of nowhere. It's the place where awareness is created and where all change is possible. And it's a very pleasant place to be, isn't it? You're relaxed now, and because you're so relaxed, you feel free from all tension, anxiety, and fear. Now, in the past, you may have felt anxious about certain things, stressed maybe, perhaps even afraid of the pressures of life, and maybe these feelings have seemed overwhelming or difficult to cope with, and perhaps you began to wonder if you'd ever find a solution to these negative feelings and emotions, and if you'd ever find real happiness in your life. But right now, all that is changing, because from this very moment on, in the place where all change is possible, you're opening a brand new chapter in your life. All those negative beliefs and ideas are collapsing now, disappearing, fading, vanishing, going, and they're gone. All gone now. So that right now, you feel amazing. You feel strong, confident, powerful, and happy, and able to find great joy in everything you do, in every aspect of your life, because from this day forward, from this very moment on, any mental barriers or obstacles that may have been preventing you from being totally happy and fulfilled are now lifted from you and are completely eliminated. And because of this, you look forward to every day, secure in the knowledge of your own abilities and the potential within you for amazing joy and happiness and success. Nothing is holding you back. Every barrier and obstacle has been removed, lifted from you, and you're now free to enjoy life to the full and enjoy wonderful success and happiness. From this moment on, you experience life as infinitely richer and more rewarding than it's ever been before. That's it. Drifting deeper now, all the way down, all the way down, 30, 40, 50 times deeper, 100 times deeper, all the way down, all the way down. And now, as you relax in this beautiful deep state of special relaxation, I'm going to give you a very special hypnotic gift. Because from this point forward, whenever you see the color red, whether it's a traffic light or the brake lights of a car or an apple or a postbox or something somebody's wearing, it'll act as an instant switch to happiness, an instant switch to feeling great, a switch that allows you to feel positive and cheerful at all times, a switch that creates a tidal wave of positive energy flooding through your whole system, mind, body, and spirit, allowing you to feel amazing, 1,000 times better than before, so that in the future, if at any time you experience any difficulty or any stressful or negative feelings or emotions creeping up on you, just look around and you'll find the color red, and it'll instantly transform you to an amazing state of serenity, calmness, and happiness, with total confidence flooding through your mind and body, at one with the world around you and with everyone in it. What an amazing feeling. Pay attention to that feeling and let it spin round and round in you till it builds up and flows through every pore of your mind and body. Let it spin inside you, stronger and bolder, until that happy, positive, inspired feeling becomes the dominant, driving, overwhelming force in your mind and body. Now, that's it. That's right. All these suggestions go deep inside your subconscious mind, and as you relax, they grow and multiply, allowing you to feel great, to resist all stress and anxiety, and to achieve all your aims easily and effortlessly. This is what you want to happen. And it is so. It is so. And now, I'm going to count up from 1 up to 5. On the count of 5, you'll be wide awake, relaxed, re-energized, refreshed, feeling amazing, 1,000 times better than before, and really looking forward to whatever life brings. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open now. Wakey, wakey. Welcome back.
Wow. Brilliant.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, really connected with that, with the going deeper, and then the deeper, and then and the red as well, and then where you're telling to get it spinning. Get apple and no. Yeah. Wonderful.
Yes,
wonderful.
I do remember. Yeah. Great. Okay. And listen, like I have said before, we're just scratching the surface here. It's there's like maybe 1,000 times more of this than maybe even more than that, I don't know, than what we've managed to do this evening. But very happy to continue this.
Wonderful.
In the future.
Yeah, that would be absolutely brilliant. I mean, thank you very much. I certainly thank you for using me as your assistant, if you like.
Well, that's okay. I mean, I'm hoping the others used it to the same effect, but no, you are quite a good subject, really. I have to say, as John is too. But I know that I've done a bit of this with John before, so I know he knows a little bit about it. Well, he knows more than a little bit. He knows a lot about it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you very much. I'm now feeling very calm, very relaxed, and ready for a brilliant life. And everything's going to be wonderful. So yeah. So thank you.
And tell me, that issue of yours, what number is it on now? What number have you got? Just the first number that one. There you go.
There you go. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Cool. So yeah, I think we are out of time now. But thank you for staying on past 8 o'clock as well, and doing the hypnosis with us and everything you took us through. So we really do appreciate it. We'll be putting this on our YouTube page, and also, as John mentioned, when we get the software system up, we can put these as like bite-sized pieces, and then people can get in touch with you for anything further. If people want to get in touch with you before the software system, how can they get in touch with you?
They can, probably the best is to email me, I would say, peter@petergilmour.com.
Great, great.
Or, via LinkedIn as well, I guess,
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. And I think John put the link to the book in the comments. So,
oh, really? Oh,
yeah, just to say thank you very much. We really do appreciate it, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon. And very, very interesting, and I'm sure everybody really enjoyed it. And thank you.
Okay, my pleasure. Great to meet you all, and keep smiling.